Good to see everybody. Happy Monday, and what a great week. What a great opportunity. You look at the film, and I hate losing. It's awful, and it becomes, when you get to that point, there's punishment for being late. When you get to that point, it becomes really, you can feel it. You can in the building after a loss. Fortunately, our guys understand that. It's you don't ever want to get that feeling, and you want to do everything you can not to experience those things. So, we learned a lot about ourselves in the team, in the game, about our organization. I think we're close, but close doesn't count. And I'm judged on results and not effort. So that's bottom line where we're at. Name of the game, we got to win. And I've got to do everything I can and our staff to get us where we need to be. So you look back at the tape and some of the things that we did well. I've thought on the field that way, and then there were obviously things that are crucial, that you can't make mistakes against a good team like we did and expect to win. So we've got to create turnovers on defense. We can't give away 3 scoring opportunities in the red zone. And when you do those things, you're going to make it really, really difficult to play winning football. And that's kind of where we were at the other night. So we've got to continue to work to eliminate explosive plays defensively. We've got to continue to find ways to establish the run game. I thought there were moments that we ran the ball with some efficiency. But then if you take away 60 yards and either tackle for losses or sacks, then it's minimal to not good enough. So we know to the point of who we're becoming as a team. We also, and I believe this, we're really close to being a darn good football team that plays winning football. So another opportunity this week against, I think, is a terrific team in every single area. I think they're certainly well coached with Marcus Freeman and his staff. You look at their size, you look at their ability to run, look at them on the line of scrimmage. They're built the right way, and it'll be a tremendous opportunity for us to prepare this week. And then first away game. It's exciting to always take a team on the road, so we're excited about that opportunity. And our guys we've had a really good Monday start to the week, and we'll create opportunities for ourselves, and excited about how good this team can get. I can answer questions from here.
What does Notre Dame mean to you?
Say it again.
What does Notre Dame mean to you, just from a football sense?
Well, if I look at what it means to me, since we've been studying them, I think obviously they've recruited really well. I've got a lot of respect for their head coach. I've known him for a long time. They do things the right way, and the way they play, they're well built. They execute on special teams. They understand situational football, and you're watching them play. They block well. They do the fundamentals well. They got 2 exceptional runners. They're talented on the outside at receiver, and then defensively they create problems. So, going into this week, that so far on yesterday and today on what this team looks like to me, I think they're very, very talented.
When you went back and scrutinized the game film from Saturday, just what were your takeaways from the offensive line, and what needs to be better there, especially from a pass protection standpoint?
Yeah, I think there's times that we protected well and times that we didn't. But also, it's easy to sit and point fingers that it's the offensive line. That's sometimes the case, yes. That's sometimes calls made by the head coach. That's sometimes tight end and protection, running back picking up the extra defender or blitzer. That's sometimes the receiver's running a wrong route and the timing's not there. That's sometimes the quarterback, instead of scrambling, not stepping up. So there's so many things that go into it. It's easy to look at, well, we didn't protect very well at times. That's the easy assessment. That's not only sometimes that is absolutely truth. And then also when you really dive into it, it's all 11 guys plus the plan that we put together coaching-wise. It's everybody, and it starts with me, and then on down to the coordinator and position coaches, and then it's, can we teach our guys in that situation, the calls to make, and then the player's responsibility of going and executing. But it's all of us together, and until we play a completely clean, free game on that, we haven't got to where we need to be. So we're working really hard to get there. I think we've got a plan in place moving into this week that will continue to get better in those things. And then you look at anytime you give up a sack, okay, or pressure, was it a fundamental issue? Was it a schematic issue? Was there confusion, or did we just get beat? And sometimes there's a combination of a number of those things. So really a deep dive into all those things on what caused that. I think you could go a lot of different levels, and we have, and I think we'll continue to improve in every single one of those ways.
Barry, how would you evaluate the secondary as a whole? You almost created a couple turnovers the other day, but ultimately you're losing the takeover battle through 3 games this season, and there's been some big chunk plays that the other teams have gained off you.
And, obviously in the back end, you're always you give up a play and everybody in the stadium sees it. So that's one of the points that I made earlier about we've got to eliminate explosive plays. And, the defensive line can make an error and 60,000 people don't notice it, right? And you get to the next level and the linebacker's got to make a play. So it's, again, team defense. We need to get more pressure on the quarterback. That's going to help our coverage on the back end. I think Charles Clark's the best secondary coach in college football. I believe that. And I think we got the guys athletically that can go play really good pass defense. We've got to play better team defense, and we do that, we're going to be better on the back end. So it all goes hand in hand. There's some one-on-one battles that we lost the other night that we've got to continue to teach our guys on how to finish those plays. But again, I'm excited about the progress that they're continuing to make. We had 3 opportunities the other night that, you look at it and really had opportunities to finish the play with the ball in our hands, and we didn't complete it. So we got to be better. We got to be better teachers. We got to be better on the field as executing that. And again, it's all of us on finding ways to give our guys advantages. And then when their number's called, and we've got to go execute. And that comes with experience and confidence and all the things that go back to your habits throughout the week.
I want to pinpoint one linebacker in particular. Winston Berglund is a guy who had a pretty gruesome injury last year, missed a lot of the year, was taking more mental reps than physical reps, I think, for you when you guys came here, and got some opportunity on Saturday. When you talk about guys who embody the Purdue way that you call it, or being a Boilermaker, how does he kind of fit that mold?
Oh, I think everything Winston's done since I've had a chance in 9 months. You can win with guys like Winston. Great work ethic, loves this place, is a tremendous teammate. Every single day he does exactly what he's supposed to do. And those guys, they're all fun to coach, but man, I want him to have great success because of the way he plays, the way he carries himself, his care for his teammates. He played in the opening game, kickoff coverage was a huge collision, set the tone. And then, he's come through in a lot of ways injury-wise since we've been here with the shoulder. And he just continues. He's very resilient. I think he's got tremendous toughness. And, he made some plays the other night, which was exciting to see. And he's very versatile. He can run. He's got tremendous speed. He's got good cover skills. He's physical, has a huge football IQ. So we can do a number of different things with Winston because he understands it, he gets it, and he's very passionate about being a good football player.
Coach, I know you never played at Notre Dame. Have you ever coached there? Have you ever been there?
I've never been there. No, my wife went on a recruiting visit with one of my sons. I didn't go on that, so I obviously know the history of Notre Dame and great respect for what they've their tradition and history since the beginning of time with football. And but I have never been there personally. No.
You think it's easy to get wrapped up in all that lore, the gold helmets, touchdown Jesus, and all that?
Say it again, I didn't hear that.
You think it's easy to get caught up in all the lore and the spectacle of Notre Dame, the gold helmets, touchdown Jesus, the Golden Dome?
Oh, obviously you look at the history of college football and the success that they've had. Much respect for that. And but as far as getting caught up in any of those traditions, for us. And again, great respect for them. They got great players, great coaches. But our job and opportunities to create winning football start with our habits, and then we step in and for 4 hours on Saturday afternoon, go play our best ball. And the tradition and all the things that go along with that they I know that our guys will be excited to go there, and they're excited about the first opportunity to be on the road to go play.
Do you know what a shillelagh is?
I do. I don't have my notes in front of me, but I've seen pictures of the trophy. I looked at it. I've studied it. And at this point, this would be where Kuffner would come in and say, hey, Coach, I remember it's this. I'm still waiting on it. But absolutely, no. I know it's the 89th meeting, I believe, if my memory serves me correct. Played a long time. And there's been a lot of great battles over the years between the two programs, and I'm honored to have a chance to represent Purdue in a trophy game.
How does it make you feel to be a heavy underdog?
It doesn't make me feel any differently than if you would not have made that comment. I mean, I have not looked at that or thought about it, or it's about us getting ready to go play. I'm excited about the opportunity, and whatever the favorite or the underdog is, I'm excited about who we are and the progress we're making.
How would you assess Ryan's decision-making thus far for a player you haven't had very long in your read option and RPO games? And how much better can he get with experience, you think?
Yeah, this was his 5th game that he's really played in meaningful snaps. So I just met with him, and I'm excited about his progress. 5 games in his career, the things he's seeing, the throws he's making, and that he gets better every single day in practice with some of those things you just mentioned, and he'll continue. I mean, he's still so young, but he's got unbelievable arm talent. Really, really smart in diagnosing and reading pre-snap on what he's getting. But one of the great things is he's able to communicate exactly what he sees, what he's looking at. And throughout the week, he and Coach Henson and Henshaw get together, and they talk about things he really likes and things he would rather take out just because of a comfort standpoint. And I think that's what great quarterbacks are able to do. And the amount of time that he spends on what it takes to be a really good quarterback, he's got all of those factors that I think he's trending in the direction can be an elite talent at the quarterback position.
Nigel Tuggle, kind of coming into his own in the last couple of weeks, just kind of going back to when you guys got him out of the portal, what did you see in him then, and where has he taken the biggest strides since he's been here?
I think his biggest strides, you start to see making plays on game day because he's practicing better. And, I know that is such boring talk, but I've always believed you're going to play exactly how you practice. And he has, early on in fall camp, you would see glimpses and then he would disappear for a little bit. He's been much more consistent. Love the way that he's continuing to practice. He's playing well when the ball's not in his hands, blocking on the perimeter, doing some of those things that we ask those guys to do. I think he's got a tremendous future for us.
Notre Dame's not exactly where they want to be right now. Does that change your philosophy or preparation for this week at all?
No, and I don't know, I know what their record is. I know who they've played, and I look at what they've got, not only schematically but skill set-wise. They're a talented football team. So we've got to do a great job of preparing, and then we've got to go execute. And, no matter all those things, really have no bearing at all on, our preparation or the way we approach the upcoming opponent.
Barry, you mentioned the trophy game this week. You got another one coming up after the bye game. We think, before the transfer portal era, a lot of those things would seem to happen very organically. How has the way rosters are constructed now, how does it play into the rivalry experience kind of within these walls? Yeah,
I think you look at, I mentioned this morning when I introduced the opponent that it was a trophy game. I introduced the history of how many times that we've played each other. We inherit things and also are expected to uphold tradition and responsibility of representing this university and in the things that you inherit, and that's one of them. So we'll continue as the game gets closer, or I will, teaching about those moments and what it means. I've still, there's a deep responsibility that I have as the leader of this team, is to represent people that were here long before I was, long before this team. And no matter if you got 4 months with us or 5 years, it's about Purdue, and we've got to uphold the standard of what that needs to look like. So I've got to continue to teach that. No matter if we've got 82 new guys or 20, every single year there's things that go with wearing the uniform, and this is one of them.
Does it become a tool that you can then use to kind of help facilitate some cohesiveness or bring another level of bringing the team together?
Well, I think so. Anything that you can bring the team together, utilizing, whether it's motivational ways or just us against them, I think those are all beneficial in building a team for sure.
And do you set those trophy games up any differently in terms of like season goals? Like, we want to make sure we win those in this particularly, or?
When we talked about the season for a 12-week season with the 2 bye weeks at the beginning, I addressed at one time right at the beginning before game 1, before we got into the preparation of that, and I talked about the importance of our non-conference schedule. I talked about the importance of the rivalry games that are built in with the opportunity for the trophy games, and then I talked about how our schedule lays out with we've got 4 weeks and then a bye. And then we've got 7, and then a bye. So I talked to just overall what that looks like. And then at that point, we kind of put all that to rest, and let's focus on one game at a time. And then the stories that come up within each week on how important that is to address those things. I think it's good to address it early, and then I can revisit those when we get into game week. Okay, remember we talked about this. Now it's time that we're here.